Hey guys, so a family member of one of my patients today asked me, what do people do when your loved one isn't safe to be home alone yet, but their family, spouse, or partner still has to work during the day, or when the family, spouse, or partner isn't physically able to provide the level of care that that person needs when it comes time for them to be discharged from the hospital or the rehab facility. So I thought it might be helpful to talk a little bit about these two very real and very common scenarios. Um, because honestly, a lot of times I feel like families feel guilty even bringing this up. But again, the reality is stroke recovery can sometimes require a huge amount of physical demand and assistance from caregivers and families, both early on as well as for the long term in some cases. And I think it's important to know and kind of normalize the fact that most people are not going to be functioning at 100% after leaving the hospital or rehab after their stroke, right? Um, Many people may still need quite a bit of help with like getting positioned in bed, getting out of bed, sitting up, keeping their balance, standing, transferring, or moving from one spot to another, handling toileting needs, bathing, grooming, getting dressed each day, or need help or supervision just to be safe throughout the day. And this is just touching on like the basic daily needs because often, family and caregivers may be helping with these basic daily needs on top of handling like meals and cooking and bills and laundry and cleaning and managing medications and providing or arranging transportation, coordinating medical and therapy appointments. I mean, you get the idea. So it can be a lot. And not every family is equipped to provide that level of care at home. I mean, some may still be working full time and need to continue to work for financial reasons. Some may have their own medical or physical limitations that limit the amount of assistance they can provide. Um, Sometimes it's, like adult children who have families of their own and have to work full time, and sometimes someone um, was previously living alone and their family lives out of state. I mean, there are just so many real life factors that can impact how and if someone is able to transition home after having their stroke. So I want to share what some of your options are if you find yourself in this situation or something similar. Okay. So, of course, depending on your exact situation, the amount of your financial resources, your work schedule, and other time commitments, some people may qualify for an additional rehab stay at like a skilled nursing facility. This happens sometimes if a patient was first at like an inpatient rehab, but still required or still needs a lot of help, a lot of medical care and physical assistance when their inpatient rehab stay is coming to an end. So they may be able to, transfer to a skilled nursing facility. And of course, this can only happen if, the insurance covers it and approves it. Assisted living or short term assisted living can be an option. But, a really good assisted living often has a wait list and can be expensive. Long term care placement may be an option, but of course, this is not ideal. But I share this because there are circumstances sometimes where someone has no family support or very little financial resources and cannot safely return home. Um, and arranging for part time or full time home care from a CNA can be an option too, but that also can be expensive if you don't have the financial means to cover that. Home health agencies can sometimes provide, like home health um, aid services, to help with bathing, like cleaning, things like that. But it's usually limited, like time limited. It's not around the clock every day, and it's not a long term solution. If someone has pretty good mobility, but mostly needs like close supervision due to like cognitive impairments, sometimes like an adult daycare program can be an option. Or another really great option for some, if your state has it or offers it, is a caregiver waiver program, which allows a family member to receive payment and be paid for caring for their family member or loved one at home. But again, every situation is going to be different, and every community, depending on where you live, is going to have different resources available, which is why it is so important to talk to the case managers and social workers when you're still in the hospital and have close access to them, as well as your rehab therapy team if you have one, about what resources might be available to you, what services your insurance, may cover, and what other programs and resources exist in your community. That way you can navigate and decide what your next best steps are, and if you find yourself, in reality, navigating some of these situations alone and without support, then you really have to be extremely proactive to find the information and resources you need. Get online, make those phone calls, use the computers at your local public library if you have to, but find the information and resources that you need. Okay. I know none of these situations are easy, and they are almost never solved overnight. But I hope some of what I shared today at least helps point you in the right direction and encourages you to explore your options, even if it's just, like a temporary situation. Okay. As always, I really hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions at all, leave me a comment and let me know. All right. It's been a long day. It's time for me to get home, but I will see y'all next time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more DIY videos to help you along the way in your stroke recovery. Struggling at home? Have a question? Leave me a comment. I'm here to help.